Intelligent, loyal, and lethal. Police K9s are powerful tools in the fight against crime. But when control breaks down, that same discipline can turn into chaos. These are the most brutal, unpredictable moments when the leash snaps. Case 1. On September 23, 2017, officers were canvassing a neighborhood with a K9 unit searching for burglary suspects. What began as a routine operation ended in a life-altering mistake for an innocent resident.
Oh, there's a lady. Out, out.
As officers moved through an alley, the K9 suddenly broke away and charged 52-year-old Desiree Collins, who was in her backyard taking out the trash. Without warning, the dog clamped onto her arm, violently shaking as she screamed in pain. The handler repeatedly shouted out, but the dog ignored every command. For nearly 30 agonizing seconds, the attack continued before officers finally pulled the K9 off.
Stand up, stand up. Stand up, we'll get you some medics. Stand up.
What did I do to him?
When Desiree asked what she had done wrong, she was told, "Nothing. Wrong place. Wrong time." Tragically, the dog attacked her only functioning arm. Her other had been partially amputated in childhood. The incident exposed serious control failures and led to new K9 testing standards.
Just take a seat over here, okay?
Sit down. Okay, we're gonna get some medics for you, ma'am.
Desiree suffered multiple severe bite wounds and lasting trauma. She later received a $520,000 settlement. The case remains a stark reminder of the consequences when K9 control is lost. Case 2. On September 22, 2019, Nathan Lux watched police conduct an arrest from his Vancouver apartment. Suddenly, a police dog broke away from the scene and sprinted across the street toward an uninvolved pedestrian.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The K9 latched onto the man's arm without warning. Officers chased after it, shouting commands as the dog maintained its grip. Despite repeated orders to heel, the dog refused to release. Officers were forced to physically pry it off the victim, stunned by the unprovoked attack. The man suffered minor injuries and declined hospital treatment. An internal investigation followed, and the K9 unit was removed from duty. Few details about any legal outcome were ever released. Case 3. On July 4, 2023, 23-year-old truck driver Jadarius was stopped in Ohio for a missing mud flap. Afraid for his safety, he hesitated to pull over, even calling 911 for guidance, before eventually complying. When he stopped, officers approached with guns drawn. As Jadarius exited, one trooper calmly directed him forward, while K9 handler Officer Ryan Speakman aggressively ordered him to get on the ground.
Here! You're gonna get the f***ing dog sick. Get on the ground or you're gonna get bit. Come to me, man!
Confused by conflicting commands, Jadarius froze with his hands raised. The trooper repeatedly shouted for Speakman not to release the dog. Speakman ignored the warnings and unleashed the K9. The dog dragged Jadarius to the ground and mauled him for over a minute as officers argued nearby.
Here! They're stealing! They're not on the ground! On the ground! Hey! They're not! Get the dog off of it!
An investigation later confirmed Speakman heard the commands to stand down, but deployed the dog anyway. The force was ruled excessive.
I'll play football! Please! 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 I'll play football! Please! 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 Get it off!
Speakman was fired, and Jadarius received a $225,000 settlement. The case became a disturbing example of how poor judgment and conflicting orders can lead to severe abuse. Case 4. On May 9, 2021, officers conducted a high-risk stop of a stolen truck. One K9 was deployed properly, while another remained secured in a patrol car.
Hey! Bowie, God damn it! Bowie, low!
As the scene appeared under control, a third officer opened the wrong door, releasing the second K9.
Hands! If you run, you're gonna get bit by the f***ing dog. Okay, keep your hands where I can see them.
The dog immediately attacked a compliant man already on the ground. ignoring commands while the actual suspect remained in the vehicle. Officers were forced to use a bite-release bar to stop the attack. The victim was completely uninvolved in the crime.
Damn it!
The K9 was removed from service pending retraining, and the handler was reassigned. The carjacker was arrested, but the incident overshadowed the entire operation. Case 5. On August 6, 2015, 70-year-old Clyde Galeen became confrontational during a vehicle inspection and eventually drove away despite warnings.
Well, you're going to have to wait until we're done with the inspection.
I'm not going to wait either.
Well, you'll have to.
No, I don't have to.
After a low-speed pursuit, officers stopped him again with a K9 unit on scene. When commanded to engage, the K9 instead attacked the truck's tire, furiously biting rubber instead of the suspect. Officers arrested Clyde, who suffered a head injury causing permanent damage. Charges were later dismissed and he filed a lawsuit. The settlement amount was never disclosed. Clyde passed away in June 2023 at the age of 76. Case 6. On April 18, 2023, Florida police pursued 23-year-old Isaiah at speeds exceeding 130 miles per hour. The chase ended in a crash, and a K9 handler moved in on foot. In the chaos, the handler's K9 bit another officer while additional cruisers collided nearby. As Isaiah fled on foot, officers nearly ran him over before deploying a second K9. The second dog successfully apprehended Isaiah. An officer was left with permanent scars, and firearms were found in Isaiah's vehicle. Isaiah later faced additional charges, including felony murder in an unrelated case, capping off one of the most chaotic pursuits ever recorded. Case 7. On March 28, 2022, during spring break in Panama City Beach, a K9 officer aggressively attempted crowd control. The officer singled out a young man and became physical for no apparent reason. In an unexpected turn, the K9 bit its own handler, forcing him to back off. No identities or disciplinary outcomes were released, but the footage remains a rare moment where a police dog appeared to stop excessive force. Police K9s are trained to protect, to serve, and to obey without hesitation. They are conditioned to act without fear, without doubt, and without mercy when commanded. In the right hands, that discipline can stop violence and save lives. But when control slips, through error, miscommunication, or poor judgment, the consequences can be devastating and permanent. These cases aren't just rare accidents caught on camera. They expose a fragile balance between obedience and restraint, where a single mistake can turn a highly trained animal into an uncontrollable weapon. In those moments, the line between lawful force and unnecessary violence disappears, and innocent people are left to bear the cost. The damage doesn't end when the bite is released. Victims carry the physical scars, the trauma, and the knowledge that they did nothing wrong. Departments issue statements, investigations fade, and policies quietly change, if they change at all. But the harm remains. These incidents serve as a warning, not about the dogs themselves, but about the responsibility placed on the people who command them. Because when that responsibility fails, when the leash snaps, there is no pause button, only consequences that can never be undone.